People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, Arsenal's under 18s, or a mixture of under 18s, actually under 16s. Let's just call it an under 20 side. I believe that's what it is. We've got our under 18s, our usual suspects, those that play for at under 18s level and pushed up to 23s. You've got the Ben Cottrells, you've got the Sam Greenwoods in the side. You obviously had what's his face, Miguel Aziz with the under 18s. You had a UK. You had the usual suspects. A good crop of young players. You had Mon Louise, Amari Hutchinson, Flores, a couple of other under 16s that will be scholars next year. They've been out, if I haven't said it already, in Bali, I believe, Indonesia, playing in the tournament. We've played against Indonesia. Did we play against? I think we played against I can't remember if it's Bali or Indonesia. We've played against a country twice. We've played against, I believe, them twice. First game and obviously a playoff. We beat Inter Milan 1-0. Shout out to Sam Greenwood. He played all right in that game if I remember correctly. But it was Flores who scored. Marco Flores, former Ipswich player, whose sister also plays for Arsenal. Scholar next season. You lot have seen me bigging him up. He's got a long way to go. But between him, Aziz, Pantino, if one of them don't progress to first team, if not all, there's something wrong at this club. Because Flores, I love him. He's got to develop physically. He's got to improve in several aspects. But he's 15, 16. He box to box. Got an engine. He's not the biggest or the most composing, but he's on the defending. He's chipped in with some goals and assists in this tournament. I really like him and Pantino, people. Amari Hutchinson got some minutes. I really like him as well. Obviously, I'm always bigging up Mon Louise, Tyler Ferran, all of these young players, people. I feel Daniel Ayoke at right back had a good tournament as well. We got some good players. Sam Greenwood scored a free kick in one game as well. We played Real Madrid. We lost 2-1. We scored late on. Sam Greenwood got that. We beat Inter Milan 1-0. And we've lost to Indonesia twice, I believe. I'm not sure if there's any other games. I believe that was the third place playoff. But it's a good experience. First and foremost, obviously they're not Arsenal first team players, but when you're travelling the world, you're seeing new countries. That's one luxury football gives you. But also you're seeing how followed Arsenal are. Like, I'm sure the Greenwoods and all these young players, it might have been a culture shock having to give autographs and things. And if they're going to progress to be footballers, they've got to have to, professional, proper footballers, they're going to, not that they're not already, they're going to have to learn to deal with that. It's also a good learning experience as well, because they're going to have to deal with being away from family, away from comfort zone, staying in the right mind, off the field, away from home, not having the usual devices. So you're going to have to find out things about yourself. It's good for bonding with the players as well. Pardon me, specifically on the football field, it's a good experience because you're playing Inter Milan, Real Madrid, two Spanish and Italian sides, two different philosophies. You're playing Indonesia, which is a country, different philosophies. I also feel playing in different climates helps, because I do feel we struggled at times with the heat. Like, that was one thing fans don't always comprehend. It looks like it was very hot out there at times, even in the night. So we had to learn to deal with that and potentially change our game plan or the way certain players individually or collectively play as a team, because we're not able to be as dynamic because of the heat, and them lot are more natural to it. In the first game against Indonesia, I believe we let ourselves down with poor defensive mistakes. But other than that, we had a decent tournament, people. It's a decent tournament. Like I said, man, for me, Greenwood, very good tournament. Ben Cottrell, good tournament. Flores would be the player of the tournament from an Arsenal perspective for me. But I think everybody did well. And I'm sorry for the wind, people. I'm very keen to see Amari Hutchinson, Mon Louise, Flores, Pantino, all of these young first-year scholars next year. I'm excited, people. I'm very excited about that scholarship group. I believe, I don't want to put a big billing on him, but Mon Louise, if he develops, we ain't seen a defender come through from Hayland in a minute. I believe he could be that. He needs to improve, he needs to develop, but I believe him and Ogombo have a decent chance of such. Is it Ryan Elabose as well at right back, second year scholar technically now, maybe even signed a pro. He done alright in his minutes as well. All the boys did alright. It's just ultimately we didn't win the tournament. If we can go through, I don't think we can. I just care about the experience, man. I think for Ben Cottrell, all of these players, it's been a good experience, man. And I believe the future is bright at Arsenal, man, because I'm raving about the scholars. You lot know I'm a big Tyrese, John Jules fan, Emil, all of these guys. 18s has got some ballers as well. You got Greenwood, Ben Cottrell, baller in my opinion. Miguel Aziz, do I need to spell it out? Of course, potential is just potential, and naturally not all of these can progress to first team. But I do believe all the names I've said are going to go on to have good careers, people. And I would love to work at Hayland, man, or London Coley, because I do believe there's something special going on. I want us to get into a position like Chelsea. Our players are not as physically as strong as Chelsea, and they're probably not as ahead. But you look at Chelsea, Reece James, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's a bit older, but there's him, there's Callum Hudson-Odoi, there's Tomori, there's Tammy. Players that have become key parts or just plugged gaps that have previously been missing in their side. How much money has that been saved? Now, Chelsea will not sell any of them and they have no need to, but could you imagine the money they're bringing in? Reece James right now is probably 20-30 million minimum. Tammy Abraham, instantly 50 million now. Do you get it? Ruben Loftus-Cheek, similar sort of fee. Do you get where I'm going? Tomori, it might be a 20-30. Mason Mount, who I forgot to mention, how much is he going to be? They're bringing in well over 100 or so million minimum on players that have come through the academy. Obviously, it's not exactly 100% profit if you was to quantify how much hours the team you've put into training these individuals, how much wages they've got, how much other fees go into developing a player or whatever. It's not 100% profit in if they were to sell him. But do you get it? They've got a gold mine. They've got competitive players. I want that at Arsenal. I don't believe there's no reason why we can't get to that. One day we've got a younger side than these players I've just said, of course, but we need to be trying to do that. We need to be specifically trying to bring through a defender as well, because apart from Monluis and Agombo, we've got Joe Lopez who had a decent tournament. Specifically at centre half, to my knowledge, there's not really immediate guys. There's not really anybody to step up, because we've been poor, for instance, at first team level at centre half. What centre half is there to really drop in there? You could say Medley. Am I convinced with Medley's capabilities? I'm not going to lie. My opinion doesn't matter. You can prove me wrong, but I don't think he's good enough. Mavropanos, he looks good at 23's level, has had some teething problems at first team. There's got to be a reason as to why Emery, Wenger, and obviously Ljungberg right now are a bit reluctant to throw him in. What aren't they seeing in training? What concerns are there? If it's anything beyond the fact of he's had a lengthy layoff from injury, he's just trying to stay fit. I don't know, and only truthfully they can answer that, people. But in relation to our young G's, they did very well, people, man, and big up them for what they did. On that note, I'm going to get out of here, though. People, DG, it's been a pleasure.